أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected brothers and sisters, I'm not going to be long. I'm not sure. In Sikhosa we have a saying that says Isusu sama sitanga kakhulu, literally meaning my stomach is not too long, which means I don't eat much. So I'm not going to take long as well in speaking. Dear brothers and sisters, the history of Islam in this country and in the world shows us that when we are united, the world benefits from us. When Muslims are united, the world benefits, but we also grow as an ummah. The great civilizations that Muslims have built over the years have been built on the back of unity. And it is that unity that has been the backbone of Muslims throughout the centuries. The state of disarray that we find ourselves in today has made those whose mission it is to divide and defeat Muslims much, much easier. They've been able, through their own means, but also assisted by our own disunity, to infiltrate our ranks and to be able to tell us to be able to define our enemies for us. We've become proxies in wars that are not of our own making around the world. We've bought into this axis of evil, senseless analogy, which emanates from the former president of the US, when he termed 3 nations as the axis of evil. We've bought into that, and we've begun to identify ourselves with the narratives emanating from Washington, emanating from London, from Brussels, and from everywhere else other than from within our own community. Our divisions are not based on our loyalty to Allah, but our divisions are based on our loyalty to our benefactors, be they from the Middle East, be they from the West, or be they from the East. We are more loyal to our benefactors than we are to the message of Islam, and we are to Allah. It is an unfortunate situation, but it is a situation which we put ourselves in, and we only have ourselves to be able to get out of. We have held on too tightly to labels as Sunni Muslim, as Shia Muslim, as Diobandi, as this and that, but we have forgotten the most important label that we need to hold on to, that of being a human being, and being a human being is being Muslim. We have let go of that label. We have held on much, much tightly to other labels. Yes, we have our differences in interpretation of scripture, in skin color, in origin, in nationality, and in everything else. And that is something to be celebrated, brothers and sisters, not something to be fought over, not something that should be a cause of conflict. Our differences should be something to be celebrated. It should be something that we should hold dearly to, but also open ourselves up to others as well. Coming back to our country, it is unfortunate that we seem to have imported these ideas and these conflicts and made them our own. Now, with our history of apartheid and colonialism, we should have known better. We should have been better prepared for things that, such as this, the sad event that happened in Ottawa, in Durban, at the Imam Hussein Mosque. We should have been better prepared for this eventuality because we have been warned before. This is not something new. It's something that has been spoken about, that it threatens to divide us further. It threatens to cause instability within our communities. It threatens to weaken us as a community in South Africa. As the MYM, an organization that has always been working in the communities in and around South Africa, we saw the signs of the brewing storm. We've been talking about this to young people. A few weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, there were pictures that were spread out on Facebook of young people from the township of Botshabelo in the Free State, displaying proudly a flag of ISIS, celebrating their membership of ISIS publicly. Some of us in the MYM contacted them because we know some of them, and we asked them if they knew the implications of what they were doing, and they knew that what the flag meant. And in their view, the flag was the flag of Islam. And we asked them, is that a flag of Islam or is it a flag of ISIS? We told them, unfortunately, they refused to take down the pictures, but we told them about the implications of what they are doing for themselves, but also for the community of Muslims as well in South Africa. So we did not hesitate to endorse the Cape Accord because it is something that we have always believed in. But we want to warn that left unaddressed, the sectarianism that's infecting our community will not only tear us apart, but will also open the floodgates for groups like ISIS that are in their retreat in the Middle East. They are bound to look for homes elsewhere. And if we don't stop this sectarianism, they are going to find fertile ground here in this country for them to blossom again. So, brothers and sisters, it is a call from the MYM that we embrace the Cape Accord, but we not only embrace it, but we also spread the word around it to our families, in our businesses, in our workplaces, in our masajids, in our madaris. Because the problem that we have is that we have a vacuum. We have a vacuum in both the body and in the minds. Now that vacuum is being exploited by people who come bearing gifts to fill the bodily vacuum in the form of food parcels and other things. And with those gifts come the ideology that has informed the sectarianism that we see. But also, they come bearing gifts to fill another vacuum, a vacuum in the mind that we have left unattended. So, it is about time that we take a stand as a community and fill those two very important vacuums. The reason that ideas like those of ISIS and other sectarian ideas flourish in our townships, I'm talking about townships because I come from the township, is because of the disparities that unfortunately also afflict the Muslim communities. The levels of undignified poverty that you see in townships makes it easy for anyone who has 50 rand to give away to convince people to join him in whatever nefarious activities that he wants to embark on. It is not that people in the townships are unthinking, but it is that, like people anywhere else, they've tend to look inwards. They've tend to look out for themselves. They've tend to focus on their own survival rather than the survival of the entire Ummah. So, brothers and sisters, I just want to remind us that we should use this Ramadan and remember it in the Ramadans that follow, that this is the Ramadan that we said, not in our name. This is the Ramadan that we said, this far and no further. Things such as those that happened in Ottawa and in many other places around the world will not happen in this country, will not allow them to happen. Allah in His glorious Quran says, in chapter Al-Imran, verse 103 says, and hold fast, all of you together to the rope of Allah, and do not be separated, and remember Allah's favor unto you, how you were enemies and He made friendship between your hearts so that you became as brothers by His grace, and how you were upon the brink of the abyss of the fire, and He did save you from it. Thus Allah makes clear His revelations unto you so that you may be guided. Lastly, brothers and sisters, once again the MYM wishes to commit itself to the values as espoused by the Cape Accord, and we wish to congratulate the people of Cape Town for taking the lead in this very noble initiative. May Allah bless our effort, and may He open our hearts to the message of the Cape Accord of tolerance and of coexistence, and may Allah accept this noble initiative from His lowly servants. Thank you for your attention. Shukran jazilan.